Hi, hello, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. My name is Sam. I also go by Ruby T, which is like my cat's name on the internet for reasons that no one really remembers, but I do. And today I'm bringing you a new video because I have joined a new draft league. After my bit of a shocker in the previous draft league I was in this year, I decided, you know what, let's not sulk. Let's jump right back on the horse and let's jump into a new league. And here it is, the VDL, the Victory Draft League. It's quite an experienced league. It's in its 5th season, I believe. There are loads of applicants this year, so we're really grateful to get a place in the league. Yeah, and I'm really excited for it. We've just finished the draft, and in just a few minutes I'm going to go over my team and then the other teams in my division, as well as a couple of other teams I think are really kind of cool or have something about them that I wanted to mention. So yeah, there we go. But we're going to be back as the Sussex Sableyes again. Our short and unsuccessful stint as the Dice Roll Drillbers is over. We are back as the Sussex Sableyes. We have a new logo. Ooh, very pretty. And yeah, so the reason I wanted to join the VDL is primarily because they're using Season 10 rules, but with no restricted Pokemon, which is kind of something that personally I've been after like the whole time since Sword and Shield came out. It's just like a chance to play, you know, in the old meta, like old style meta. It's why we ran the Kanto Classic in the Ruby R's Discord. And yeah, this seemed really cool, and everyone since I've been in the league have been really friendly. It's a really nice place to hang out. So the primary differences between the VDL and the previous draft leagues we've been in, the VBA, is that obviously it's Season 10 rules with no restricted, as I've mentioned. There are 4 divisions of 6 teams, which means if you can count, which I can, I'm very clever, is 24 teams altogether. We are in a division with 5 other teams that we have to play, and we also then play 1 match against a team from other divisions, which means there's an 8-match regular season, which culminates in a playoffs. 2 teams from each division are guaranteed to make the playoffs. The first seed gets a bye, and then the best 4 other teams in the whole of the league, not in each division, the whole of the league, become wildcards. The wildcards will play off against the second place teams, and then the winners of those matches will move on to a quarter-final and a semi-final. I think I did double check. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. And if I explain that badly, I have also written it above here so you can see it, because sometimes I don't explain things the best way. Okay, cool. So there we go. There's the basis for what we're doing. Going into the draft this season, I decided that one of the things I really wanted to do was use some Pokemon I've seen others use in draft leagues and kind of put my own spin on it, and also just check them out. So without any further ado, we will jump into what my team looks like this season. Okay, so here you go. Here is the team for this season. Before I go any further, I just want to say a big thank you and credit to Brave, who via the VDL, he creates these wonderful like graphics for the content creators to use completely free of charge, which is really amazing. They're beautifully presented as well, and we're going to use a few of them throughout the course of the season. And I also want to say a shout out and credit to @Rex_VGC, who has made this. So that is literally an intro which we can use for all of our battles this season. Again, totally free of charge for anyone who is doing the who's a coach in a VDL, which is absolutely amazing. I think it's really awesome, and thank you to those guys. So you can see 10 of our 11 Pokemon on the screen now, and just here you'll see one of them is covered. That's because we got to the 11th pick, and I let Gemma decide. Gemma could pick 1 Pokemon in my draft, which I normally let her do anyway, but obviously last season with the dice rolling that didn't happen. So the first 2 Pokemon I picked up are Tapu Fini and Thievul. I liked watching Dan in the VBA really use Coco Thievul this season, but I didn't want to just go Coco Thievul like literally the most boring thing in the world, just totally copy someone else. But I thought I really like Thievul, I really want to use it, so I decided I'd pick up Tapu Fini, and then I picked up Thievul turn round 2, which I think was really cool. Thievul was a tier 4, so I think it's also a really good value pick. Third pick I got was Weezing. Just to Coughing was kind of good for me last season, but it just didn't have quite enough, and Weezing was still available as a tier 3 in the 3rd round, so yeah, I just thought it was a no-brainer with the neutralizing gas to be able to kind of help me when we come up against some of those tough matchups with really good abilities that I can't find another way around. We picked up Chandelure for obviously Trick Room or Imprison kind of BS, but also in the non-Dynamax format, it has loads and loads of options damage-wise. which I think will be very, very useful. Togedemaru, excellent fake out, obviously Lightning Rod. and sturdy. It's got really good abilities. It has great versatility. It can run support, it can run offense, and in general, just a very, very strong Pokemon. I also have picked up a bit later on in the draft, not until like my third from final pick, I don't think, is I picked up Terrakion, which pairs obviously quite well with some of the earlier Pokemon, but also I think pairs quite nicely with Braviary and Wigglytuff, because Terrakion generally primary physical attacker, so it would be nice to have the kind of defiant or competitive options when we come up against Intimidate teams. And I just think that it kind of synergizes quite well, and I was quite pleased with that. To round out our Fire, Water, Grass, we've got Rotom Mow. I like Rotom Mow a lot. I really, really do. I think it's an underrated and underused Pokemon. Obviously in VGC, like the general VGC formats, it's never going to get too much play because there are just better grass types and there are better electric types. But in a format like this, I think it's going to be really useful. And then finally, to round out our main picks, we have Wigglytuff and Mr. Mime. Mr. Rhyme, sorry. I think Mr. Rhyme is a really nice fit for this team. It gives us another fake out option, gives us more trick room options, icy wind, loads of support, and also can hit like an absolute truck if we come up against dragons in particular. So they were the 10 I picked, and now there's the 11th Pokemon. It is Purloin, it is Ruby herself, who we've got for our final pick, which is really nice to have extra Prankster. It's nice to have extra fake out. So I'm pretty pleased with Gemma's decision this time. It's certainly better than some of the other decisions we've had in the past. So thank you, Gemma, for picking sensible Pokemon. Guys, let me know what you think of this team. Let me know in the comments down below or in the Ruby Isles Discord. If you're not in the Ruby Isles Discord, come and join us. And also, while we're here, I'll take the chance to plug. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video. It's really, really nice of you, and it makes me happy. And that's a good reason to do it. So there we are. Anywho, we will now move on to having a look at some of the other teams in our division. As I've said, we've got 5 other teams in our division who we will play all of, and I just wanted to have a quick look at all of their teams. I didn't want to go over all 24 teams in the draft. That would just take a bit too long, and I think other guys in the league are doing that. So if that's the sort of thing you're after, make sure you go and check out their videos too. I will try and link or just come and join the VDL Discord, and then if you want to see more of like other content creator stuff, you can come and see it in there. There are tabs for it in there. So yeah, I would really, really encourage you guys to come and do that. I think that would be cool. So yeah, there we go. Oh, before we take a look at everybody's teams, whilst we won't be making any trades ourselves, I don't suspect, there is a 24-hour grace period for trades in this league, which I think is a lovely touch when you've got a 24-person draft and your plans could kind of go down the toilet pretty quickly. To have that kind of backup as a like, okay, you know what, like I've got my Pokemon that I really want, that maybe 4, 5, 6 that I really want, but I have no idea what else to draft. I don't want to take up everyone's time by like taking forever, so I'm going to draft these Pokemon and I'm going to try and pick some up in this 24-hour period. I think it's a really, really nice touch. So if any of the teams I'm talking about in this these next segments change, it's not my fault, they've just traded. So okay, so the first team we're going to look at are the Norwegian Darmanitans. Also, separate note, nice to be in a league with Europeans. Not that I don't love Americans, but it's nice to not have to worry about time differences for once. Yeah, it's the Norwegian Darmanitans. So, here's their team. Tapu Lele, Urshifu Single Strike, Nidoking, Raikou, however you say it, Regirock, Gothorita, Starmie, Flareon, Slurpuff, Corsola Galar, and Vullaby. So, the couple of things I noticed from this, obviously, Tapu Lele, Slurpuff, Starmie, they all synergize really well together. Urshifu is huge. Like Urshifu is so good especially in the non-Dynamax format. I think it's going to be key for the Darmanitans this season. And the other thing that I kind of wanted to bring up is that he's the first of the previous winners that are in the group with us. He is the previous winner and the previous runner-up, and a regular season champion as well. So obviously going to be a really fierce competitor with a really, really strong team. And I'm looking forward to the matches. I think they're going to be really, really fun. I'm not really sure how we match up yet, but obviously we'll take a deeper look into that when it's our turn to play. But I think a really strong team. I particularly think Regirock, which I think was traded for, I can't remember. I don't know if it was traded for or it was picked up late on, is a really great addition to this team. All in all, it's pretty terrifying. Next up, we have the Suffolk Suicoons, coached by Toots, and again, generally very, very strong. I think all of the teams in my division drafted really, really well. They've all got very, very strong teams. This team in particular, I think the speed control options were fantastic. Obviously, you've got Cresselia and Whimsicott. You've got Suicune. I don't know if Moltres still gets Tailwind, but I mean, those 3 on their own are really, really useful. You've got plenty of Icy Wind users, and generally, like, yeah, just a really, really terrifyingly strong kind of speed control, which is something I'll have to look at when we play against them. There's a lot of bulk in this team and a lot of inner focus. So in a non-Dynamax format, of course, you have the ability to flinch. Flinch is more common, fake outs are more common, and obviously having inner focus is really beneficial for that. But Pokemon like Umbreon, Suicune, Cresselia, even Miltank are just so bulky that without those max moves to really try and nail them down, I think this team could put in a really strong showing. So again, pretty wary of them, and looking forward to playing this weekend. Next up is the Kildare Crocodiles, and yeah, just you can see without really me saying too much where the strengths in this team are going to lie. There's a really good looking rain mode with Ludicolo and Pelipper, and then obviously the Ferrothorn to back it up, and even Magnezone as well to back it up. I think is really nice. Dry skin on the Heliolisk can be used in the rain as well, which I just think is generally a really cool kind of mixture of, it's rain, it's not so heavy rain that there's nothing else that they can do, but I just think it's a really nicely built team. I also think their lower tier picks are really strong. I look through the team and I don't see like a weak link. I think any of those Pokemon could come at any stage, which is something that I think is really good to have in draft. And finally, I love Jinx. I think Jinx is a fantastic Pokemon. Paired with the Bomber Snow, like the Hail Blizzard kind of strategies that you could get off of that are really excellent. So yeah, I think that's it's a really well drafted team, and I look forward to playing them. Next up are the Bristol Bewares, who, in my opinion, have the coolest logo in the competition. I think it's really awesome. I like it a lot. And they have, once again, a very strong team. Like I said, everyone in my division certainly drafted really well. Incineroar, Latios, Conkeldurr, Gastrodon, Liepard, Charizard, Exeggutor, Electivire, Orbeetle, Lickitung, and Sandslash. All of them really strong Pokemon. Not a single weak link in that team, if you ask me. There's also noticeably strong cores in the team, like the Firewater Grass is very prominent. You also got the Psychic Fighting Dark core as well, and then there's like the additional Pokemon I think are really handy. Like the Electivire can really like hit very hard. Gastrodon, in my opinion, is a fantastic Pokemon, and Incineroar is definitely going to be one of the best Pokemon in this format. It's one of the best Pokemon in every format, pretty much. So and without Dynamax to really hit it particularly hard, I think it's just going to continue to go from strength to strength. Alright, and finally for the teams in my division, we have the Pacific Slowbros, who I think is the only player in my division not in Europe, or certainly not within like pretty close to my time zone, which is really cool, and props to the organisers for sorting it out that way. I don't know if all the divisions are done that way, but it's a really nice way. It's nice for me and nice for the other European guys. Probably less nice for Otto. Sorry, Otto. But there we go. Yeah, this is, I mean, look at this team, man. It's so good. Like, it's a really strong team. As you can see with my fantastic editing skills, Gourgeist is on the screen twice. I have consulted with the page, and there is only one Gourgeist on his team, so that's important to note. Indeedee, Salamence, Articuno Galar, Blaziken, Primarina, Gourgeist, Komodo, Jolteon, Steelix, Absol, Omastar, and Gourgeist. Indeedee, Salamence and Blaziken is terrifying. Like, it's absolutely terrifying to me. The follow me with like Moxie on the Salamence and the follow me with Speed Boost on the Blaziken is just fantastic. Articuno Galar's got the competitive ability and Tailwind and Trick Room, really decent. And then also he's managed to pick up Primarina as well and get a solid Ghost and Grass type in there with his 3 Gourgeists, so that's really cool. His whole roster has multiple options of how they can be run. Maybe aside from like, in fact, I was going to say maybe aside from like Steelix, but I think you can probably run Steelix in more than one way in this format. He's also another previous champion, so it looks like the division is stacked with previous champions, which is pretty cool, I think. So again, really terrifying team, and very much looking forward to playing Otto. Okay, so finally, I'm just going to review 3 teams from elsewhere in the league, which I think are really kind of interesting, cool, whatever. I split into 3 categories. So the first category is the team that I want to see the most, like in action, and that goes to the Massachusetts Manitans. Firstly, Cherrim Torkoal combination looks really fun, and I can't wait to see how it does. I really like. I'm so excited to see how that gets used. I also think Maractus and Silvally are Pokemon I don't often see, and I really want to see. Obviously, like Silvally is essentially like it's multiple Pokemon because it can be any type, and I think that's so cool. I really think that's a great kind of draft Pokemon. I never really thought of drafting. I don't know how good it will be, but I really can't wait to see. Next up is the best built team, which goes to the Pretzels, also probably arguably a winner for the best team name as well. Cinderace plus Clefable at the top is strong. Like, there's no doubt about that. That is seriously strong. You've got a kind of a big hitting, multiple type, just generally fantastic tier 1 Pokemon. Next to your other tier 1 being Clefable, which I think is a fantastic support, and also in Draft League gives you offensive options as well. Just looks really, really great. There's Fire, Water, Grass, Dragon, Steel, Fairy cores, and all of them are useful Pokemon as well, right? So it's not like, oh, I'm just going to tech on a Dragon here, or I'm just going to tech on a Fairy here. Like, they're all useful, and it just looks solid. Like, it looks really, really solid. There's a load of varied offensive options, and defensively, the coverage is just, I think spot on. I haven't actually checked, but I think it looks pretty good, like, from first view, and I just think it's a really solid team. Okay, and yeah, and finally, obviously, the most important part of any league, the spiciest team. I mean, in this instance, it was no challenge at all. It was the Stinglaker Rabombees. I mean, anybody who builds a mono poison type is gonna be a spicy team. I can't wait to see how it does. I think it's a really, really cool idea, and I'm really excited to see how it gets on. Well, there we have it. We're all done. That is the VDL. That is the new league I'm going to be in. I am really, really excited to get going. The schedule will be released as soon as the 24-hour trade period is done, and I will try my best this time round, if life doesn't get in the way, to bring you a video every single week of my matches. And let's hope we can. Well, let's start by making the playoffs. Let's hope we can do that. And yeah, we'll see how we do. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.